ban here against Fnatic.
Well, so I think Kassadin was actually nerfed here in 4.7, which we are playing on. However, it wasn't enough. I mean, he's still such a strong champion. Worth it, you have to ban him. Wait, that's it. Against Fnatic, you never give them Kassadin. SKT did it. They played with the skin comp. Almost backfired for them. Actually could have lost the game to Fnatic. So, pretty obvious ban from SK. And Jax just been a power pick for quite some time now.
So, Yasuo a ban here from Fnatic. Quite interesting, actually, because Jez is not a player that we really associate with Yasuo, but we also know him as a counter to Nidalee, which has then forced that final ban out there as Nidalee first pick Irelia, though. That is a surprise.
So Irelia, nothing actually changed for her, but she's still considered just such a strong pick because of the teleport, because of the fact you can survive the early games in your lane, and then you can teleport around and get into the mid-late game point where Irelia is very, very strong. SK's side, I'm not actually sure how much Freddy plays Irelia. I think he prefers the likes of Trundle, so I don't think SK Gaming minds too much. Yeah,
Trundle is definitely a champion that he's gone to time and time again there. They also pick up Lee Sin here for Svenskeren. You mentioned earlier on that Evelynn was banned away as the first ban for Fnatic. And also, the fact is Svenskeren has to be strong. If Svenskeren's not performing, SK Gaming as a whole aren't performing.
The early game relies on Svenskeren. What he can do with his ganks, how much pressure can he apply. He needs to help out the lanes. He always goes to bot lane first to gank, then he goes to top lane. He ignores the mid lane where Jess just farms. That's why, again, Lee Sin is a perfect pick for him and such a strong pick in the current meta where fair-play junglers kind of fell out of favor again after some nerfs. So it makes sense to get the Lee Sin here, very strong. And of course Lucian, I believe actually for pretty much all AD carries in Europe, he was the most played AD carry.
So on the other side, Graves, you talked about it a little bit before. We saw it at All-Stars from Fnatic and from Reckless, weren't too impressed with it. They picked up LeBlanc as well at the same time.
So I like Graves with LeBlanc because you have so much burst potential on a target. If LeBlanc lands the chain, Graves can dash in and just fire all the burst and his target should go down. That's where he can be very, very strong. Wave clear wise though, if you look at the first three picks here from Fnatic, it's going to be a bit risky for them. I mean, yes, you have the ultimate from Irelia. Yes, you can jump in with LeBlanc here, but it's risky. Same goes for Graves. It's very short range wave clear here. So if SK is sieging on a tower, it's going to be hard for them to for Fnatic to actually clear the wave. Could be an issue. However, they're clearly going for a more offensive comp themselves to start something.
On the side for SK Gaming, their third and fourth picks coming in. Trundle, not a surprise to us whatsoever. We already talked about how much Freddy loves that one. And then we see Kayle coming down. At this point, you have to wonder, does he go to Jesus or does he go to Enrater? Because he has been the one that's been picking up this support Kayle.
Could be an option, of course. But we've also seen quite a lot of mid and top Kayle lately where you build a Hurricane as your second item after Nash's Tooth. And it's something starting career. Actually, maybe Kautar did it half a year ago here and his team was like, nah, we don't like it. Korea really picked it up. A lot of people have been playing it, and it's just so strong. We can talk about it more if he builds it in the game here. But it's gonna be Trundle and Kayle together. Very, very beastly team fights, especially late game for SK here. It's gonna be hard for Fnatic to kill any of these targets so far.
So other side then, jungler locked in for Cyanide will be Elise and Thresh for Yellowstar. Now, Thresh is a champion that Yellowstar had played a few times early on in the spring split, but kind of shied away from it when it came towards the later stages.
And I believe actually, during All-Star, he said, I don't actually enjoy playing Thresh. I don't think he's a top 3 pick for me. Seems though he's rethinking and picking it up now. It is still a very strong pick. I mean, we don't really need to say anything. Most supports consider Thresh the #1 support here, so it's a very strong lane for Fnatic. If they land the hook, a lot of bursts come in from Graves. I might actually expect him to try and lane swap though, because they want to get this Irelia away from the Trundle, as Trundle is very strong against Irelia in the early start, in the early game here. Could see Fnatic lane swapping around. In case it works for them, we need to see what Source can do on Irelia.
So final pick then for SK Gaming confirms the suspicion of where Kayle's going to be going into the mid lane, of course, with Morgana now going over to Enrated. So interesting lineup here. And a couple of the thing is, you look at Irelia for Soaz, and while it's not a champion that he's tended to go for, we've seen him play it in the past, but his champion pool is so ridiculously deep that you almost expect new picks from him on a weekly basis anyway.
Yeah, that's very true. However, on SK Gaming side here, with the Morgana pick as a support, they try to counter their pick comp from Fnatic here. You want to have the Black Shield against LeBlanc, you want to have it against the Cocoon, the stun from Aurelia, the hook coming in from Fresh. I mean, if they can avoid this target getting hit by the single target CZ, so the target won't get completely destroyed, they can try and stop the pick come from Fnatic, and that's going to be the whole idea for them. Of course, Fnatic, they just want to look for picks all around. Land a hook, land a binding, land a cocoon, instant kill the target.
We'll see if they can find those picks. And now that the players have selected their champions, we want to know who you guys think ended up with a better team composition. Send your pick to @LOL Esports on Twitter using #FNC or #SK, and we'll check out your responses shortly. Deficio is hard to call so early on in the season, but just looking at these two teams from this first match, who do you think's got the edge here?
Well, so again, both teams are very strong in their own role. I mean, the pick come from Fnatic, very, very strong. If you fall behind to this and they get full vision in your jungle, they're just going to catch you out left and right. It's going to be very hard for you to do anything. But the team fight comp instead for SK Gaming, also scaling into the late game, is going to be very scary here. Lucian, very good late game. Kale, of course, is insane late game, together with Trundle. So if it goes too late and it starts coming down to big team fights, I give it to SK. But if Fnatic can take control of the map early on, get good vision control, and just start picking off targets left and right, they definitely have the stronger comp.
So here we go then, into game, the first matchup of the LCS summer split here for 2014 in Europe. Fnatic versus SK Gaming. The question is, who's going to be coming out on top of this one? We should talk right now about 4.7 and the changes to trinkets.
So 4.7 trinkets, you can see down on your screen, everything is active, no cooldowns here. 30% you can place down your trinket. It means every single member, I mean, potentially we can have 10 trinket or 10 wards on the map by 30 seconds here. It means their late invades are harder because it's very easy to spot them out. It's very easy to get vision of all the entrance into your jungle. SK for now though seems to just be scouting. Didn't actually put down any of the trinkets yet. Fnatic already put down 2 of them to see if SK were trying to move around here. You can still do invades. It's just harder to actually do it without the other team at least knowing you're there. And SK will now spot Fnatic.
Now we see the vote. 67% of you going for Fnatic, which is a bit of a swing. Obviously, 80-20 was the vote from LOLesports.com earlier on. Right now, Fnatic are the ones that have made the most ground in the enemy jungle. We see them already up there. A couple of wards going down, a fairly deep ward as well to spot in case that that lane switch is coming around from Fnatic.
But as we see, instantly there's wards down from SK, and instantly they can just move into the red side of Fnatic's jungle. They know everything. Both teams got vision of each other here, pinging each other out. Only thing we can say so far is that Reckless will be up in the top lane, so Fnatic, they get the lane swap they wanted here. As we talked about, they really want to get Aurelia away from this Trundle in the early game. And then, of course, the thing we barely talked about, Morgana with the black shield, and then, of course, Jesse's with his ultimate here. And whoa, look at this here. Look what Reckless is doing here. He's actually tanking the minions, making sure they will target the first minion from his wave moving up. You see the very first minion from him already dead. And at the same time, he will now push towards Fnatic. And also, he actually could have done it a little bit better, push it a little bit further away. But also what he wants to do is that when the next wave spawns, he wants the wave from SK to hit his wave faster than his own wave coming down from the bottom lane here. So he's simply trying to get it to push in favor of Fnatic, so actually push away from the tower and therefore denying Freddy as much CS as possible.
And we saw Soaz actually inside of the jungle. He knows that he's in that 1 versus 2 anyway. If he'd have gone down onto the bottom side of the map, and well, he's just going to cause Freddy a couple of problems, who was trying to stay in some kind of range there to maybe get some XP, but he's going to be getting literally nothing up on that top side of the map. So nice little start here for Soaz. It also means that SK's bottom lane is pushing out, and we already see that Svenskeren has started to move into that one, and we also have Cyanide coming into the top lane. So despite the changes here in 4.7, we're wondering, how is this all going to work? We've been seeing that the meta had kind of shifted to these 3-man pushes, 4-man pushes onto the turrets. We were questioning whether that was going to happen here. You can see that actually they've kind of backed away from this one, wanting a bit more of the jungle.
Well, the thing is, again, with... Ooh, actually going very aggressive onto Freddy here, no, backing away. But the thing is, with 4.7, all the outer turrets now takes 30% less damage. So the 4-0 fast push is harder to do because it takes more time simply to kill the tower. That's why both teams, don't actually go for just sending multiple members there. They can just take it down slowly. Both of them are happy doing the same thing. And a lot of action in the mid lane.
Jesus going very, very low from this one. Cyanide diving in. Jesus flashes away to the side. But there is the first blood. Cyanide jumping down, and now they're moving in towards Svenskeren as well. He managed to safeguard off to the minion. Very fast move from Fnatic.
And a very, very big mistake by SK and Jesus in the mid lane. They knew Fnatic was in the top side of the jungle. They know you don't send 4 members to split push or fast push anymore. So Jesus, he should have expected people to be around him here in the mid lane. Instead, he was very aggressive and got completely caught out of position.
Especially when he actually saw Soaz and Cyanide by the Wraith camp there just a few moments before that one. This bottom lane, we see half of the health taken away from that turret. Soaz uses his first teleport here to actually get in there and stop Candy Panda from doing as much damage as he possibly can. If we look at the early CS between those two that have had and will continue to have a bit of a hard time here, 6-9 in favor of Freddy, who's managed to finally get some CS there up in that top lane. Between the AD carries, it's Reckless that currently holds that lead, 31-24 CS.
Again, we need to remember the start he made here where he tried to deny a lot of CS. I think Candy Panda maybe pushed it a little bit harder because Svenskeren actually moved down around the level 2 mark. But then he backed away because they realized we don't actually have to fast push his tower, so he backed away and went into the mid lane instead. I think Candy Panda lost a few CS here, and that's why he is behind. This mid lane though, Jess is falling behind him in XP, and Peggy going very aggressive.
Very, very aggressive indeed. As Cyanide comes around, that's an easy cocoon. Jess is only level 4, no flash available. Peggy picks up the kill. Far too easy there for Fnatic.
Simply too easy. Peggy was ahead there. Cyanide could just jump and Soaz out of position.
Soaz caught out. There are 3 men moving in. The binding doesn't quite land. Svenskeren actually going to go aggressive. Finds this a little bit too far and then decides to back away himself. Very, very close to another kill for either side there as well. In the end, no one gets one.
Nobody here, but Fnatic actually with 3 members pushing towards the mid lane. Soaz though decides to not go for the tower, instead moves up here to get the Wraith camp for himself. SK can quickly move around though and actually defend the tower. But a lot of action, mainly around Jesse here in the mid lane because he used the flash and because he was out of position. Can't even blame him for the second one. He was just standing in the middle of the lane, but there's nothing you can do when the Blanc can jump you and then he needs to jump you as well.
You've got no flash.
No flash, you're level 4. I mean,
probably going to die at that point. It's Freddy here, also in somewhat of a dangerous position. He needs to get into this bush to see them quicker, and he actually will just walk straight into it. Cyanide, full HP. Freddy's been stripped down completely, and he's surely going to die from this one. He himself doesn't have flash available either, and Cyanide picks up that one. SK's reply is that bottom out of turret.
But this is simply lack of vision control from SK and map awareness. I mean, again, Fnatic, Soaz, he went through the mid lane, walked up to the top side of the jungle, so they knew he was in there somewhere. There was a chance. No wards, of course. And yet Freddy just slowly just walks by them. Oh, there's 2 people, I'm dead. I mean, SK, they are not warding properly at the moment, and Fnatic, because they can just roam freely in the jungle of SK, can just pick them out and get the kills. And now teleport from Freddy. They want this dragon.
Level 3 Freddy. Well, Fnatic try and stop this one from happening. We already see that Peke has moved across, gets the ward in the Dragon Pit, so they've got vision control of it, but they're not really in a position to do anything.
Just going to time it. They're just going to time it here. Put down the ward, get the timer, so when the next Dragon spawns, be in position. Of course, again, also on 4.7, Dragon got slightly buffed. Gives 20 more gold now to every member on the team, so Fnatic, or SK at least, picking up the first Dragon. They did use the teleport, and Reckless just left by himself in the top lane to farm, which can potentially become a big issue for SK.
Up to almost 70 CS, and with the second spawn here of that red buff, we see that Cyanide is in there. He, of course, did steal away that first red of this game as well. Svenskeren knows that he's inside there, but doesn't actually... Oh, he did have his trinket up, but decided not to go for it. Didn't have Smite available, so may have not been able to do anything to stop that one anyway. Either way, it's a good pickup for Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic just continue to walk into the jungle of SK like it's their own jungle. They don't even care. They're not afraid. Taking the buffs, getting the kills, all they want here. Jess is in the mid lane, still behind in XP. He will remain behind in XP for quite a long time. And he just needs to try and farm. He's never going to be able to move around here because Peke has all pressure on him.
I see blue buff going over to Peke, 1-0-1. A scary prospect when LeBlanc starts to get ahead of you, both up in CS and in those kills as well. See some more items coming out. The AD carries both picking themselves up a BF sword. The top laners actually both going double Dorans with boots to start things off. And now SK moving here actually will be a 4-man push towards this mid lane. They've actually managed to catch Becky. He dashed straight in there and the ignite is ticking away.
Oh,
there comes the shield and he is going to survive it, but it was so close.
Very, very good binding by Enrated. Predicted to jump in from Peggy, just landed straight in his face, got a lot of damage. And SK Gaming can keep the pressure going here. 3 members from Fnatic to try and defend. Not a lot of wave clear. Regulus needs to get in close to get the wave cleared. SK though backs away.
Playing it safe, and those are the scary, fast group up movements of SK Gaming.
Quick decision.
Quick decision making that gets them into a perfect position that obviously caught Fnatic a little bit out there. Peke obviously was trying to do as much damage as he could to stop them taking the turret, and unlucky for him, or lucky for him actually in the end, survived with hardly any help. But now they've got 3 men of their own in this mid lane.
It was the thing we talked that she has decent wave clear, but it's risky. We saw it here and Raid just predicted the jump and binded him and forced him to go back. Almost killed him. Yellowstar just saved him in the end. But Fnatic, yeah, putting on the pressure on the tower here. It's gonna be hard for them. They don't have the best siege comp at least. They want to catch out a target and just instant kill it. It's of course where Kale's ultimate and Black Shield is gonna make it very hard for Fnatic.
Go for Freddy on this one. He spotted Cyanide coming in. That's a pillar to try and stop him getting away. There's no flash, of course. That was just used by Freddy. They're going to keep trying to go in for this one. Cyanide's flash actually coming up here in just a second. Can they get the cocoon? No, not quite. But have they got the damage to finish anyway? Freddy will just speed on off back behind his turret. Close, but no kill for Fnatic.
No kill here. Again, they got the flash away from him. He's not level 6. He's also far behind in XP. And Sana, he could just move as he wanted. Yellowstar though, needs to be careful.
Oh, this is bad news for him. Actually, he's going to get kicked back there. He's Candy Panda coming out from the backside, but a great flash from Yellowstar into that red buff. They actually hit the Q there, did Svenska, and Peke coming across the side as well. And Yellowstar caught a little bit out there, but does manage to survive it. Peke actually having to use his distortion to get away from all that damage as well.
Almost picked up the red buff here. But SK simply responds to the fact there's 2 members up in the top lane, so they move into the jungle, pick up the red buff, and almost a kill again onto Yellowstar. But Fnatic are doing a great job just escaping in the end. Always trying to get something on the map, but SK responding, picking up the red buff again.
Can't always escape though, that's the real danger to that one. And Yellowstar, I think maybe more than anyone else in Fnatic, a little bit guilty of being caught out somewhat, as he's, you know, just trying to ward here, just trying to ward there. But that's going to happen if you want to win this vision control game. We can see that SK have got a deep ward, had 2 deep wards actually in the Fnatic jungle, a couple of them timing out, and there is a scan to get rid of one as well from Yellowstar, who's now picked himself up that sweeper. Actually, there are 3 on the side of Fnatic already.
Suddenly going to deny a lot of vision. We see in the jungle of SK, 2 wards from Fnatic, nothing from SK himself. Some of the wards just ran out, to be fair. They were there before, ran out now, so SK need to renew them. Otherwise, Fnatic can just keep doing what they're doing now. Quick move around the maps here. Sana can find a gank. He's already picked up 2 kills and 1 assist. Svenska though, spotting out Source. He's in the tower actually. Underneath
the tower, dashes straight off to Candy Panda and then onto safety as well. Could have been a little bit dangerous for him, but the time ability there of Irelia making sure that he doesn't get caught too far out of position. Peke also with LeBlanc. Enrater's going to have to, and credit to him for landing that binding early with the prediction. It's got to be prediction, and that's the unsafe thing of trying to lock down the LeBlanc. Cyanide here actually getting caught a little bit far back. There's minions for him to repel to though, so that won't be a danger for him.
It's going to be hard for Enrated to land a lot of his CC because these members from Fnatic are very mobile. Of course, Irelia as well reduced CC towards her due to a passive, so it's going to be hard for him to actually get too big of an impact when it comes to bindings. That's why his Black Shield just has to be spot on.
Let's have a look down at some of the items here once again. Athene's Unholy Grail finished for Xpeke there on the Blanc, still holding around about a 20 CS lead. And the Stinger in for Jezza, so he's going straight up into that Nash's Tooth. If you look down the AD carries, both of them now got themselves in a Vamset Trust. Peke going quite aggressive, but didn't get the initial burst of damage he was looking for the combo.
But you see Candy Panda here? Instantly he just flashes away. Don't want to risk anything. He knows Peke is very strong at the moment. His flash is gone, so next time Peke finds him, it's going to be hard for him to escape here. And we actually see the build from Jesus. A lot of attack speed early. He will be going in for the Hurricane later, and then we can talk about it.
So Dragon is now live. Fnatic have 2 men already in position. Peke's into that bottom lane as well. That is pushing heavily onto that bottom outer turret. Candy Panda being called around to defend this one, but SK need to close in because Fnatic are moving in for the kill here. Onto Candy Panda. It's Cyanide that's actually going to tank up the turret. There's a lot of damage coming in. Cyanide simply repels away. SK's move here, and not a bad one either, pushing the outer middle turret down.
SK responding the best way possible, picking up the mid tower. They will keep pushing here. Only Source is there to defend. His ultimate is gone. This could be the tower for SK, however. Source doing a very good job trying to defend.
Tanked up here by Freddy. That turret is going down. Actually, Svenska going aggressive there on towards Soaz. In the end, Soaz not able to keep a hold of that one, and what looked like a good move for Fnatic, moving in there, taking the outer bottom turret and the kill, means that they lose 2 middle turrets. They will get the Dragon back down.
Both teams actually trading a lot of global gold to each other here. 2 towers for SK, as you said. It's in the mid lane, however, so it's very important for the vision here from Fnatic. So it's very important towers for SK to get down. Dragon though, bot tower and a kill for Fnatic in the bot lane. It's not too bad. However, you never want to just give up 2 towers, so SK clearly won out on this one.
Yeah, starting to get more farming. Candy Panda getting completely caught out though, and he's going to go down. In the end, it was Peke's Ignite that actually finished him off, and those are the kind of kills that you just can't let happen to a pig team with a LeBlanc in there who's only becoming more dangerous.
Look at the minimap at the moment here. Around the blue buff of SK Gaming is multiple wards from Fnatic, and Reddy just placed the single ward SK Gaming has in this area. He just placed it now. It wasn't there before.
On the map, actually.
On the map, actually. So there was no chance for Candy Panda to spot them out. I mean, yes, he should have expected them to be nearby. It was too easy for them to catch him out, but the vision control, it's been in favor of Fnatic throughout the entire game, and they're doing the right thing with this pick comp here. Making sure they deny vision from SK, get superior vision themselves by putting on multiple wards, and then just catching out targets. Candy Panda died twice now.
To try and get some of that control back. We'll take out a pink ward, but he was stood on top of another Fnatic ward. If I can count correctly, there were just 5 in a row there, as one of them does in fact end up timing out from it. Also, Jesus at that point with his Eon, that those mini waves really do not last long, and he can clear them out before Fnatic can get close to these towers.
As long as he can get close enough himself to actually get in range and not get picked out by Fnatic, it's going to be scary for him as well. I mean, both teams, they wave this with risky for them, and there's a chance they always get caught out. Fnatic, though, should be able to get this tower fairly easily. They're so much stronger at the moment. They just move up multiple members. SK was not in position to try and defend.
And that leaves us at 3-3 in towers. The gold advantage most definitely with Fnatic right now as they look to maybe close in. They are waiting to move on to the side. Peke going to catch 3 of them there with a distortion. Doesn't quite lock anyone up, and the culling from Candy Panda going to force Fnatic to back away from that one. SK really holding their ground nicely there.
Teleport is ready for Freddy. Just came up this second here. He could look to join in for a fight if Fnatic goes aggressive once again. SK for now though. Decided to just kite away. Very wise decision. Didn't have to use any ultimates except for the calling here. Not too big of an issue for them, and Freddy got some much needed farm up in the top lane.
Back to the items. Now we see Blasting Wand and an Amp Tome brought in for Peke. On the other side though, that Nash's Tooth is done for Jesus. He's going to be doing a lot more damage, and we see the Bloodthirst as well complete for both AD carries. So the next few more minutes going to be very, very interesting, especially that next dragon when it comes up. The circumstances it went down last time, SK basically ignored it and just went straight down the middle.
As soon as they spotted Fnatic move towards the bot lane and they knew Candy Panda was dead, the tower was gone, instantly just moved to mid lane, picked up 2 towers. It was a great move by SK, and it's what they need to do here. They're setting up for a gank in the top lane. Fnatic are pinging it out. Yellowstar just used his hook into the bush as well. Nobody was there because SK is still waiting around. Here we go.
Pushing in is the binding from Enrated going to land. Yellowstar is not going to be able to dodge that one. This should be an easy kill for them. Box did go down. Yellowstar actually flashing off to the side, but they will lose their man. Enrated fell low in the process. Soaz is waiting on the backside. Enrated maybe for the picking, but 1 versus 4. Not surely a fight that they want to have. This is a tower going down. Actually, Freddy is starting to teleport out of this one, and he's going to go down towards that bottom lane to help. That leaves it as a 1 versus 3 now. Soaz coming into it, but still has to be so very careful from this.
But still a very, very good move by SK. Fnatic, they had the idea, they put down a ward here. Still ended up losing the tower, losing a member, and then Freddy he teleported to the bot lane where Jesus was defending the tower, and they actually managed to defend it away from some Fnatic couldn't take it. Again, another great move on the map. So as though he's way out of position.
Q lands, the slow comes in, that makes it Cullen easier to land here. SOAS down to less than half, a good binding as SOAS turns around. They do manage to sew that one up. It's Svenskeren that gets the kill in the end for SK.
Again, SK just doing a great job picking up the towers they can get, picking up the kills they can get to try and get back in this game. They're still behind. Next Dragon coming up in 1 minute and 28 seconds. It's gonna be the big thing. Can Fnatic get a pick and then take the Dragon, or can SK just go down with the very strong teamfight comp and try and fight 5 versus 5?
And we've seen from Fnatic in particular, All-Stars, that they had some very dodgy decisions to actually fight. They were in positions where they'd fight for Dragon, where they couldn't really do that, where the decision wasn't really a wise one, where they'd stay around for a little bit too long or chase after kills, and that's something that SK will surely be looking to take advantage of here, and something that I hope from Fnatic's sake that they've actually worked on that whole discipline of not chasing after something that you don't really know what's waiting around the corner.
And looking at this game, I feel like Fnatic give SK too much time to actually move around. I mean, they gave them 2 mid towers, they gave the top tower now where SK actually stood for about 20 seconds just waiting to run in, where there was no response from Fnatic except for moving your support up there. It's not going to do enough against 4 members to survive. So Fnatic, instead of them taking full control of the map, taking full control of the game and just making sure SK always has to defend the lane and can never actually move as a group to set something up, they let SK do something. And that's what SK has been doing really well, and picking up towers, picking up gold for themselves.
And this is a bit of a deja vu moment. We saw SK setting up this trap just a little bit earlier on. However, Fnatic coming in fourth from this one. We see that SK say, no, that's too much. We can't fight this one. We have to back away. Peke actually coming in. The presence of Candy Panel forcing to dodge back off his distortion there. That Dragon is available, but SOAS is now coming in from the backside as well. Will SK be sandwiched? No, they've moved as a unit around the side from this one. Freddy's still there, so they could still fight for this.
Freddy there, coming in closely. There was no teleport on his side, that's why he couldn't join in. SK going in though.
Let's go going in. It's going to be Fnatic to get the Dragon in the end. Yellow Star low. The ultimate coming out. Jesus will save Svenskeren, and SOAS is going to go down. Jesus picks up that kill. Can they get any more? They've hooked in Freddy, but he's not the target that you need. And Peke in the meantime doing tons of damage with Reckless now charging on through. Will he have the speed to actually catch up and do it though? No, the Cocoon not landing there from Cyanide. I think that's the end of that fight. A very close one. Look at the health bars of Fnatic.
Very, very close team fight. Svenskeren winning as the first member. Drop low instantly, but the ultimate from Jesus saved him. He managed to get out and they picked up a kill. However, Fnatic could then turn it around, get a kill in return here, but very, very close fight. Look at it again. Svenskeren going in. Freddy's still running. He's not here. He's supposed to be in the front line. And Raid as well, delaying his own ultimate because he didn't want to run through the box. Very well placed by Yellow Star. You know, Source will be the target to go down. So from here, the rest of SK are like, some is running back, some is still running in. Jesus and Candy Panda ends up being in the front line. Simply just get caught out, and there's a kill for Fnatic. So they trade 1 for 1 at least, kill-wise.
Dragon in the end, they'll go into Fnatic. It leaves them with almost a 3,000 gold lead. 21, call it 22 minutes into this matchup as Enrated will spot a pink ward. They've seen SOAS there on the top side of the map as well, so no immediate action to be had around that area. So let's touch on some of the items coming in. Phantom Dancer now for Reckless added into his Bloodthirster. The other side, Candy Panda going for that Trinity Force straight after his Bloodthirster.
So pretty standard for both AD carries here. Both of them should be going for Last Whisper as the third item. And both of them, I mean, yes, Graves. If you go full late game, he's a good AD carry, but he's not exactly a hyper carry. He's not a guy who single-handedly just carries a game in the late game like Vayne or Cosmo will do. Lucian, on the other hand, is a bit more safe as well. But both of them actually fits the comp really well. That's what I like about this Graves pick from Reckless. It didn't work too well for him at All-Star. Been working okay for him in this game.
Lose out again on positioning. SK had started to move down, but of course the inner turret was already taken earlier on in the match, so there's no easy grabbings left in that mid lane. You've really got to commit quite deep in there, especially with the inner turrets open still on the top and bottom sides of the map. Fact is, if SK want to go that deep and start challenging on a turret, they need better ward coverage down on the on the Fnatic jungle. Currently, that's a ward on either side of that mid lane. Of course, Baron as well starts to become a concern this late on into the game. A lot of wards already down in position there.
A lot of wards from both teams down here. Nobody want to get caught out of position. Of course, Fnatic need to go in here with the sweeping lenses. They got 4 now. Not only they're 3 early on, actually picked up another one, so they really want to try and deny all the vision from SK Gaming. They need more ping wards down the map. How many do they have at the moment? I can see 1 at the bottom, 1 around the dragon. That's about it. They need more ping wards, but get ready, he's dead.
He's dead. I mean, not really much time for that one. He got hooked in there, and the full combo coming around from Fnatic. Graves ultimate thrown in there. Peke dove in as well. And now Fnatic looking for a grab here on this turret. They do manage to get the hook on Freddy. The intervention will save him instantly, and a good culling again comes out from Candy Panda, keeping Fnatic low enough to have them maybe second guess about fighting here on this inner tower.
And now the ultimate is gone from Jesus. There's no black shield because Inrated just respawned in the base, so the next hook could be the kill Fnatic needs to actually take the tower here. Inrated, he's on his way to try and defend. There's the hook!
On comes in on towards Jesus, but the heal will come out instantly into Cyanide. It's actually taking all the damage from that one. There's a kickback. Soaz is going to fall. Svenskron will drop down. Peke trying to mop up the low HP champions here at the back. That is his clone that's underneath the turret, and in the end, we'll end with a 2 for 2 as the shutdown comes in for Candy Panda.
2 for 2 here. Fnatic went very aggressive under the tower of SK, took a lot of damage for it, and took a lot of time to actually kill the first target because Jesus managed to flash away. Freddy then became the next target. He's still very tanky. Took him some time here. Gonna see it in the replay. Remember, Inrated is not there. Ultimate is gone from Jesus. He flash away, and Freddy is the target. Tanking up quite some damage, and the tower is just going on to Fnatic all the time. Great move by Svenskron, kicking swords in, get a kill onto him. And then actually Steiner, he's very low, staying around. Fnatic they want more. They wanted to land the hook from Yellow Star. A bit too over-aggressive. Could have backed away after the 2 kills and just said, we're fine with this.
Minion damage there on the bottom lane as well. That one was pushing all on its own, and Freddy realizing that he has to get there as quickly as possible to stop that one from happening. Jesus will also be getting himself a blue buff. So after that one, let's have a look down some of the items that have been completed. For Fnatic, Soaz has himself Trinity Force on top of that Warden's Mail. Now there's a Randuin's Omen picked up. Blade of the Ruin King is actually on the other side. Soaz just trying to stalk around there onto Candy Panda, but there's a ward there by that Golem Brush, and Candy Panda spots him coming and will back off to safety. Or they may even just catch him out here.
They have full vision of him. The rest of the team, though, the Lantern should be here from Yellow Star in case Source gets caught up by a binding. Should be able to take it in safety. Yellow Star just waiting around. And there's the binding, and Lantern.
Oh no, the kick! He's kicked him away from it, Soaz trying desperately to get back onto it. He actually flashed there towards the Lantern to try and take it back, but that was quite the move from SK, you have to admit.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. They knew, they saw the Lantern. Svenskron instantly just jumps around and kicks him back away from it. Both summoners down from Source. First the teleport to the ward, now the flash. Teleport is up on Freddy here. This should mean for SK Gaming, they can take some control of the map and start split pushing a little bit, and Freddy can then join in for a fight somewhere.
Or a dragon, which is just spawned in there for that one. SK
would have probably gotten it anyway.
They probably would have. Or will they? Because Peke here hanging around at the side, trying to do as much damage and just use this distortion. So that is that one, and the dragon goes over to SK Gaming. 2 out of 4, so 50% of the dragons going over to them. And if we look at the gold, it has started to closen up quite a lot from this one. Just 1,500 gold separating them. SK here just rotating back from the dragon to hold on to that inner turret.
And SK simply just want to extend the game. They want to go to this late game point we talked about. We actually see Jesus, he completed the Hurricane. Now we can talk about it. It is completed. The thing about Hurricane on kill, I think the reason it's very, very strong is it applies on-hit effects. So your Nash's Tooth here will do damage to the targets around the target you're hitting. You do damage with your Spellblade from your Masteries, which is 5% AP on hit. You do damage, of course, with your E, the splash damage from it. And if you pick up a Lich Bane, you'll also do the damage to the targets around with the Hurricane here. So basically, you actually do more damage, or at least the same amount of damage to 3 targets instead of just 1 target. As long as they're close to each other, the downside about the build is you're very auto-attack focused. If you get stunned, you do nothing. If you build full AP kill, you're more about your burst from your Q and then 1 hit with your E with the Lich Bane. This build is more about just staying in the back and just auto-attacking again and again and again for the entire team fight. So if he gets locked down, buy a hook from Yellow Star or Cocoon from Cyanide, his damage is pretty much non-existent.
See how Jesus' positioning all works out when those bigger team fights start to roll around. Right now, Fnatic are clearing out vision over by Baron, or at least they think they are. Reckless actually stood on top of a ward there by the red buff, which may or may not be cleared out. There we go. Scan comes down. That will be spotted out. But look at this. SK starting to step forward. Lightning comes out. Doesn't quite land. Svenskron's Q was slightly off there as well in terms of direction.
Oh,
he's going to keep going. Very, very aggressive. That Q will land. Will he follow through? Yes, he will. He's going to kick Yellow Star, but off to the other side. Yellow Star actually flashing that one, and he's going to get caught by the binding. That is some bad news. Yellow Star getting picked out.
Xpeke was caught in the bottom lane here for an SK game. They spotted him and simply just went straight for the fight. Very aggressive move from Svenskron, chasing onto Yellow Star, and now going towards the tower here. Look at Peke, he's coming towards the mid lane, but he's still far away.
And they might not have much left when he actually gets there. This turret being stripped down quickly. There is the Indian turret going down, and Jesus is going on towards Soa. Has not quite got the damage. Sidestepping the Cocoon. Peke is still waiting in the lane, but they're going to lose out on the inhibitor. Here is Peke from the side. Good damage, but he's going to get locked down. Surely, Candy Panda actually flashes over, picks up the kill and the shutdown. SK take the lead in gold in this match.
And again, Fnatic, they give full control to SK to do whatever they want on the map. If you're split pushing, make sure your team is in a position to punish the enemy if they move multiple members to stop your split push in the bottom lane in this instant here. Peke was alone pushing it. Rest of Fnatic were just standing around. Some of them were at Baron, some of them were in the base. They weren't in a position to punish SK for anything, so SK spotted simply out Yellow Star at the Baron, just went straight for him. They knew there was only 4 members, or a chance of 4 members. Easy kill for them, and then went straight for the mid lane, and Xpeke was just too far away to do anything. Fnatic though, starting the Baron. 3 members from SK is nearby, and actually stopping them instantly.
Killer going down there from Freddy. Shield was on, so Yellow Star wasn't ever going to be able to lock up Freddy either way.
Hurricane pulls the Baron.
Not really, yeah. I just want to kill that one. Oh wait, I've got a Hurricane, not cool. Blue buff is up here, and that may well be stolen away. No, that will actually in the end go over to Cyanide. We'll make sure that one doesn't fall. Wondered how aggressive Fnatic were going to be about that Baron. They saw that 2 men were recalling there, so they had the numbers advantage,
yeah.
But no, they started to fall a little bit behind. The fact is that Jesus now is doing so much damage to them, and they realize the 3 versus 5 on Baron in particular is going to be such a risk.
Again, they're playing a pick comp here, which once you go to the late game part, it's going to be so hard because, again, you need to rely on picking out targets, not straight up team fighting. SK can just go 5 members, find a fight, and they're going to be the strongest team.
Ready here, holding in, and a bit of a trap set up by Svenskron and Enrated on that top side as well. And the irony of it really with SK up against a pick comp here inside of the Fnatic jungle. Trying to pick someone up, setting the traps there for them. They're pushing out all the lanes as well, and there is the push coming through. They managed to lock up Jesus, but have they got the damage to finish it off? They try and turn around. Freddy actually being burst down very, very low here. There's the intervention coming in. Soas went a little bit too deep from that one, and it was only really Freddy and Svenskron a little bit that took the damage, but we see the heal coming out. His ultimate use. That leaves them in a 5v4 to take this turret.
Again, the ulti from Jesus, the black shield from Enrated. It's the perfect counter to a pick comp here. Whenever a target goes low, they chase towards to try and get the kill. Nope, here's a shield, here's the ultimate from Jesus. You're not gonna kill him. And instead they can just turn around. They've done it again and again this game, and Fnatic, whenever they try and chase for a kill, simply countered. And now, very nice binding.
Very nice lantern though, and this time Cyanide able to take it away. Soas of course fell foul of that one earlier on, but SK know they've done the damage that they needed to the jungle, and that means that they're going to start off the Baron. They've got vision just by that blue area as well, so they know exactly where they could be coming from. The Baron already down to less than half HP, but Fnatic going to start to move back in around to this one, but Baron's already gone down. Cyanide going to get locked up here by the ultimate of Enrated, and the damage going to come through in just a second. Jesus finally gets back into the side of good Cocoon, but there is a push around from Peke on the side. Soa's now going low. He's going to have to speed away, but Yellow Star maybe the sacrificial lamb. He'll be hunted down and finished off. That will be a 2-for-0, and the Baron going over to SK.
And they go for the finish here. All 5 members are up. They're going to regen from the Baron. Are they just going to time the inhibitor and kill it? No, they actually want to try and finish this game.
Well, the inhibitor might actually be spawning in just a second, so that might stop that one. But here is Peke trying to defend off from this one. Svenskron actually landing the Q, kicks him away. The Nexus turrets have already gone down here, and they're going to focus it in. A lot of damage from Peke, but it's not enough. SK Gaming pick up their first win of the season here against Fnatic. Brilliant win.
And they simply outplayed Fnatic when it came to objectives, when it came to moving around the map. Early game, it was issues. The vision control wasn't there for SK Gaming. They gave up some easy kills for Fnatic. But Fnatic just didn't know what to do with these kills. And instead, SK Gaming picked up the middle turrets, they picked up the top tower, got the dragons a few times as well, and managed to simply out-rotate Fnatic on the map.
Let's see how gutting that is for Fnatic, having that lead coming in. Looking so good in the early stages of this matchup, but not able to push it through towards the end. And we've mentioned this earlier. Well, how are Fnatic going to react to losing their first game of the season?
Yeah, again, we need to see